Now we're going to be designing the flowchart that is in the beginning of our lab. So we have the lab here, and then in the first page we have to add a flowchart inside of here underneath our overview. So we're going to do that. We have our program listed here, and we have the flowchart here. Now flowchart should be done with our program listing, but we are doing it a little bit later. For the first one, I am going to make our circle. It's going to look like this. Inside of here, we are going to have our start stop. So this box indicates the beginning or end of our program. So we're going to say start, and then inside of here, we are going to have our x86 lab 1 program. And so that is how we're going to have this in here. Now we do need an arrow that's going to be pointing it down to the next thing that's happening. So the next thing that's happening, and we're going to use this arrow right here, is going like this. And then we have our box. And so our box is going to look something like this. And then inside of our box, we want to tell the step that's going to be accomplished. So our step is that we are going to move the constant value of 120 into dx. And we can always make these boxes smaller as we see fit because they are quite large right now. So we'll just make these a little bit smaller. And the instruction for here, right next to it, we're just going to write move and then comma dx and then comma 0 120. There should not be a comma in between here though. And so that is that code. We're going to do the next one. I can see this one's a little off centered, but now we're going to write the next part. And this is just another move, so I'm going to copy and paste this down here and then just move this a little bit over. So this is going to go here, and this arrow will go here. Again, this is our flowchart. So we're going to move not the constant, we're going to move the register of 0 to 100. So we'll take this out. We're going to make the register 200 into not dx, but our ax. And so this command is just going to be move, comma ax. Oh, there should be no comma here, ax, comma, and then the 0 to 100. And so this is the code here. We're going to have another, which is just b of x. So we can take this all, move it over here, and then we're going to move register 202 into our b of x. So the command for this one is going to be move b of x, and then we're going to have register 202. That should be 0 202. And so that is that. And the next thing on our flowchart is going to be slightly different. We have a sub, but this is still going to use the same block because it's not really changing anything. But this is going to change. We're going to sub register b of x from a of x and store the result in a of x. Now this is going to be a little bit big, so I'm just going to shorten this a little bit so it fits inside the box. And so we know our command here is going to be sub ax comma bx. And so that is the code for this one. We're going to keep on going, but I'm just going to move this up slightly. That way we have some more space. And now we have a jump greater than or equal to. And so this is going to be slightly different. We are not going to have this. We are going to have what's called a decision. The decision box indicates the process that has a choice of taking different decisions based on a condition. Typically, it is in the form of a yes or no. So we're going to draw our arrow here, and then we're going to draw this right here. It's a little diagonal. We're going to move it right here. So we have our jump greater than or equal to. Our command is just jge, comma, and then we have 0 114. And so this is going to jump to the 114 spot. And so in here we're going to check if our a of x is positive or negative. And then we are going to draw another arrow. I can just copy and paste this in. And then we're going to just say if negative. And so that is going to be this line right here. So if it's negative, it's going to go down here. And if it's negative, it's going to add the ax to our d of x. So I'll just take this box and paste it in here. And so if it's negative, our command is going to be a of x, add a of x dx. So dx is going to be added to a of x. So we're just going to rewrite it like this, add register d of x to a of x and store the result in our a of x. So that is the code for this one right here. And now what's next? Well, we have a jump greater than or equal to. And so this is going to be another one right here. We're going to take this code, we're going to copy it, we're going to paste it down here. Because it's the exact same thing. Jump greater than or equal to, and we have the 0, 1, 1, 4. All we need to do is add an arrow right here to connect them. And so with that arrow done, what we're going to see is, well, we want to check if our a of x is positive or negative. So if it's negative, we're going to go into another jump statement. And this jump statement is an unconditional jump. We can see that it is JMP. And I'll bring this down here so that we can see as we're writing it. So we have a JMP, and that's 0, 10, 0. So we'll take this, move it over slightly. We'll do JMP, and then we have 0, 10, and then E. And that's just going to jump back. We can see our 0, 10, E is right here. So this is going to get a little bit interesting. So unconditionally, we are going to jump back inside of our program. So again, where we're going to jump back is a 0, 10, E. So what we can do is take this line, just like this, extend it out a little bit. We're going to take this line, place it here, extend it out, and find our 0, 10, E. We can see it's the add command, which is going to be right here. And so we're going to take this, and we're just going to go into here. So unconditionally, if we hit this, it's going to go back here. Check if our a of x is positive, and it's going to run it again. So we still have some more code though. We have a move, and this move is going to move a of x into register 0 to 100. We know we also jump in here because we have 0, 1, 1, 4, and we have a jump greater than or equal to 0, 1, 1, 4, which we're going to get into in a second. But we're going to deal with this move for right now. So with this move, we have our arrow, of course. We have our box. And so we're going to place it like this. And then inside of here, we are going to move into register 0 to 100. And then we are going to move into it our a of x. And so that is just going to be how we have it in this block right here. And we can write out our command just off to the side. So it's just going to be mov, comma, register 0 to 100. And then there actually should not be a comma there. I keep getting them mixed up. And then we have our a of x here. That's going to be our register. And lastly, we have an integer. But we can't forget to do our lines first. So we have our jump greater than or equal to. It's going to come out here. We're going to take it down here. And then we're just going to go straight into this part right here. And then we could say if positive. And this one we can just write, for this one, this jump we can write unconditionally, because it's unconditionally going to make this jump. And obviously I do not know how to spell. So it's going to be unconditionally. And that's also probably still spelled wrong. It's spelled correct. That in fact is amazing. So after we do this, we are going to end our program. And so we can draw our little arrow down here. And then from here, we can draw this little oval. And we're going to quit, or we're going to write end program. And the command for this is just our int 20. That should be all in uppercase. And so that is going to be our entire flowchart for the program. We start here, we move the value dx, or I'm sorry, we move constant 120 into our dx. We then move the register 200 into our a of x. Then we move the register 202 into our b of x, and then we subtract. I'll just write the whole thing so it looks nice. Subtract register b of x from our ax and store the result in our a of x. Check if our a of x is positive or negative. If it's positive, we're going to come all the way down into here and move our a of x into 200 and then quit. If it's negative, we're going to come in here, we're going to add register d of x to our a of x, and then we're going to store the result in our a of x. Then we're going to check if our a of x is positive or negative. If it is negative, we're going to jump inside of here. Now I did miss a step, because what if it's positive? Well, I never wrote anything for that. So if it's positive, let's look at this. If it's positive, we're going to jump to this 0, 1, 1, 4. And our 0, 1, 1, 4, jump greater than or equal to, is going to be right here. So if it's positive, we're going to pull out this way. We're going to take this line, we're going to go down. We're going to draw our arrow this way into here. So we're going to say if positive, we're going to go down here. Otherwise, if negative, it's going to hit this jump, which is going to loop us back here, and we're going to keep going in here until we're positive. And so that is our flow chart. These are the symbols that we used, and this is the code that we based it off of.